Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to talk about is Ja Morant potentially making the Memphis Grizzlies future final contenders. Now, you might be like, well, it's a little early to say a rookie point guard can possibly make the Memphis Grizzlies finals contenders. Like, we don't know how good he's going to be in the future. He might just be having a really good rookie season. You never really know. Well, me personally, as a Pelicans fan, I think Ja Morant is going to be an absolute beast once he gets older, and I think he's going to be able to lead this team for many years to come. And as you're going to be, if you do watch this video all the way through, you will know that it is not only Ja Morant making this team a finals contender, but I think he's the perfect, missing piece, final touch for this team. So yeah, I'm getting to all that in this video, and if you do like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without rambling on too much, just get right into this video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to be getting to for this video is going to be what has he done so far this season for the Memphis Grizzlies. Well, the Memphis Grizzlies in only his rookie year are right now at 19-22 and are currently the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And now y'all might kind of be like, why is that a good thing? How is that impressive? They're the 8th seed and they have a losing record. Well, you have to remember that they just got rid of Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, who's been their two best players for so many years now and have been like the catalyst of that team. So now with them losing those two players, you would think, oh, they're going to have to tank for a few years. They're not going to be that great. Well, I mean, Ja Morant has helped a ton in winning those games and keeping them in playoff contention, as in only his rookie year, he has been averaging 18 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, and 7 assists per game on 49% shooting from the field. And like I said, they're currently sitting at the 8th spot in the Western Conference. And I mean, they have won 8 of their last 11 games as well, and before last night, they were on a 7-game win streak where it just got snapped by my Pelicans. But I mean, they do have a ton of talent on this team, a ton of young talent on this team. Ja Morant has done a very good job at being the leader of this team at the point guard position and has shown very fast that he can still keep up with it. He can still lead a team to success. And despite losing their two best players, Ja Morant as a rookie has stepped up a great time and maybe even giving you better production than what Mike Conley was giving you for the past few years. So I mean, for him to fill those shoes as early and as fast as he did is very, very impressive, and he has shown that he is not going to back down and that he is built for the NBA. And now my second reason is going to be that it's not just him doing this, because obviously to become a finals contender, you can't just have one very good player and say you're a finals contender. You need to have multiple very good players. And I mean, they do have multiple very good young players, as they have Jaren Jackson Jr., who is also averaging 18 points per game with 5 rebounds per game as well, and has shown some improvement at his shot blocking as well, and has been one of the more underrated young players in the entire league. And it would be cool to see him get some more credit for how good he has been over this year and how big of a contributor he has actually been for this team. And now maybe the steal of last year's draft, Brandon Clark, he has been one of the best bench players in the entire league, averaging 12.3 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 1.5 assists per game. And plus, they got other veterans to surround those very young players. That is very valuable, because now you have those veterans to help develop and help guide the young players through tough situations and help them over obstacles that they're going to face throughout an entire NBA season. And with Brandon Clark looking like a steal, I'm sure he's going to improve every year, and eventually Brandon Clark's probably going to become a starter, and you're going to be looking at a big three of Ja Morant, Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson Jr., and maybe who else they add through free agency or the draft. And I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how good this team could be going into the future once they get older, once they develop, and if they stick together. It is going to be very, very fun to watch. And kind of piggybacking off that big three thing, my third reason is going to be that they have already a big three of the future. I mean, a lot of teams, they spend years among years of rebuilding, trying to find 3 guys that can lead their team and try to win an NBA Finals. Well, the Memphis Grizzlies have pretty much done that in just 2 years. And that we really kind of have a big 4, kind of not, but I mean, it's kind of weird how good some of their young players are, but they just don't get a lot of recognition at all. But that big 3 I'm really talking about is Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Brandon Clark. All 3 of them have all-star level potential, if not even better. So I mean, with all 3 of them having star potential, that is going to be very scary going into the future once they develop and once they get a little bit better as well. But I mean, also they have players like Brooks, who is very underrated, a very good shooter, scrappy. He has a swagger to him that and confidence that you really don't see out from many young guys in the NBA, and Brooks is definitely showing that. And also Giannis Valanciunas, although I don't personally like how he plays, ways. He is a big body in there and is still a very good big man and usable big man for his team, and would be very, very valuable in a playoff run. So yeah, but with all these said, I think Ja Morant is leading this team very good, and I think in the future they will be a contender just because of how good I can see these players developing on their team. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Grizzlies could be a future contender if Ja Morant can keep developing and keep leading the way he is? Or do you think this is too early of a prediction and that they're going to come back down to earth a little bit? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute word to me. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.